Welcome back, everybody. Holiday Doc here with a special guest appearance. One of a good friend that we've kind of built up throughout the last couple months here. Mr. Visionaire, how you doing?
Hey, pretty good. How you doing, buddy?
Not too bad at all. And what are we talking about today? Guilty by affiliation or association. And there's some other topics that, well, we got so many topics to talk about. I think we should just get into it instead of explaining it.
Absolutely.
While we watch these lambs to the slaughter. And why don't you take us away with our first topic? I know something that's been on your mind heavily lately.
Yeah, definitely. This is something that I've experienced firsthand and had quite a bit of a hard time. Even brought some friends off of my own friends list because of it. But essentially, it gets down to the fact that because of the anonymity of the internet, people seem to feel like they can do or say pretty much whatever they want. And for the most part, that's fine and cool if you are off by yourself playing. But a lot of us aren't like that. We have a full party going, full party of 6 a lot of the time. And, you know, that behavior, good or bad, always reflects upon your party. And to me, that's something I've been struggling with some, a rare occasion of running into people that are on my friends list who may or may not behave a way that I want reflected of myself. Is that something you've encountered as well?
Exactly. And it's not just public rooms. Now we're translating it to game battles teams. And just like I had mentioned in my previous video on MLG TVA Vibes, reflection of his team now is that he's a racist piece of shit.
Yep.
Who thinks, swastikas are funny and a good way to go. And it's a portrayal that I really don't think anybody should ever think is a joke or funny.
Absolutely.
And it's sweeping the COD Nation. It really is. Between the dicks, the animal incest going on, it's ridiculous, these emblems and just everything that surrounds it.
Well, you said it. I mean, you give a child a crayon and he draws a dick. I don't know why, but it's true. It is true.
Yeah.
And maybe, and to me, these things, I mean, it's laughable when you go back and look at it, but it's really sad to me. I mean, where we are as a community, that this is what we do with our time, is making dicks and swastikas and things to get people, get a rise out of people. And honestly, I mean, I think it's time that the community sort of puts their foot down and takes a stand, because honestly, nobody in my party is ever going to show up with a swastika. If you show up in my party with a swastika, I will remove you from my friends list. I will never play with you again. Because I don't want to hear the long historical explanation of why that's okay. It's not okay,
I just want to cut you off right there real quick because somebody had mentioned in the video last time that the swastika is a sign of Buddhism for long life or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The swastika itself, the symbol without colorization or portrayed in the circle, is a sign of that Buddhist religion stuff. Not 100% sure what it portrays exactly, but yes, when you match it up with the red and black, like the Nazis did, it changes. And another thing is, like, the Southern KKK use that symbol to drive their hatred towards everybody, and it's pointless. This is the internet, yes, but you would never see, people like these same people go to their school and draw a swastika on their forehead and run around thinking it's okay.
Absolutely, and I don't want to draw it out too far, but to me, yes, maybe at some point in history it meant something, but things change relative to culture that you're in at the time, and there are plenty of symbols that we have in today's culture that mean something different today than they may have 100, 200, 300 years ago. So that doesn't play. In today's society, we all know what that means, especially, like you said, with the coloration and whatnot. It's not acceptable. And the other part that you touched on there, I think, is really important. The people that you're in a lobby with, the things that they say and do towards their competition, or the emblems that they have, are those people that you would associate if you were out in public with your family? That's a question I would ask anybody who's, I don't mind if my buddies do this, because honestly, I'm not going to show up to a family function with a guy wearing a shirt with a swastika on it. It's just not going to happen.
Or tattooed on the back of his head.
Absolutely. Nor are they freely going to use the word faggot or excessive cussing. Not that I'm against cussing. You've been in lobbies with me. I rage, I cuss, I swear. But at the same time, being respectful towards your opponent at the end of the match, or not using racial slurs or homophobic slurs and things like that, are just it's just immature, man. It really is.
I really think sportsmanship, for the most part, is dead, especially online. With more and more young people kind of coming onto the online side of things, with absolutely no policing involved.
Right.
It's just a matter of time, really, before it happened.
Well, you know, yesterday I was at Walmart. I saw a kid picking up a version of the game, and he was like probably 8 years old. Like, this is the game I want. And I couldn't help but think, this kid is going to show up and start playing this game and seeing dicks and swastikas and people yelling faggot. Like, I realize it's his parents' job to be parents, and I realize that it's rated 17 and up, all that kind of good stuff. But at the same time, we all know what reality is. We all know what that kid's going to see, and I think it's kind of sad that that's really what we're teaching other people around us, that that's okay to do those things.
What about the I guess formal ways of behavioral issues that we have with our party members, and party etiquette altogether, noob tubes, and various other things? What's your visions on that, Mr. Visionaire?
I mean, that actually was part of the original idea behind this conversation for me. Was there's a person who'd been on my friends list from early days of Modern Warfare 2 to when I really didn't know the sort of unwritten rules of how you conduct yourself in a lobby, I suppose. And I won a lot of demolition games with this guy. I mean, 20, 30 games in a row, and never questioned the fact that he was using one-man army noob tubes, because to me, I mean, as a new player, whatever, it's just a game type, right? It's just a mechanic of the game. But I didn't realize at the time was that we were pissing a lot of people off, and they were yelling and screaming in the lobby, to which this person would yell and scream back. Which is frustrating too for me. But they were also then breaking out their one-man army noob tubes. And you know what? He made my gameplay worse. My experience was much worse, because I'm having to deal with people using those tactics on us because that's what he chose to use. And even if you bring that up, hey, dude, don't do that because we don't want to play against that, then he didn't get that. This is what I want to do.
Not a lot of people that use those types of things even realize they're doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I whip out the noob tube, shoot somebody, I know I just did something wrong. Like, it's not going to happen again, or, it doesn't happen very often. And I have not put a single noob tube class on since I played Black Ops, and I don't think a lot of other people have. Maybe it's because they're trying to stay away, or maybe it's because all the noob tubers went back to Modern Warfare 2. It's kind of a mixed bag of what could have happened. But
yeah, I ended up removing that guy from my list, dude, and he's shown up a couple more times. You've seen him, you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it's sad because he's really a cool guy in general. I enjoy hanging out with him in general, but the constant bickering and trying to get into fights with people in lobbies and the constant noob tubing in lobbies, I can't handle it. I can't be associated with that,
No. And then it looks bad upon yourself. People remember, and it makes the whole element of the game and the atmosphere just worse.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think for the good of the game, if we could all just do a couple of things. One, police ourselves, and sort of ask our party members. If they're going to be rude enough to act that way, be rude enough to them to ask them to stop. One. Number two, don't do it yourself, because realize that the shit that you're doing is going to reflect upon the other people in your party. It might go bad for them too.
Yeah. But that's the end of our conversation today. I think we're going to have to do another one of these to kind of fill it up here. But good game for our whole team here.
Absolutely.
68-7. Thanks, Vision, for coming out. And I'm Holiday Doc, and I'll see you guys later.